This is episode 3 in a series, What Happened at 1407 Gairloch Rd, regarding the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan on May the 2nd. The series focuses specifically on those first critical days, the first critical moments of when the children were discovered missing. For those who have not been following the story closely, on the morning of May the 2nd, 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother Jack vanished from their rural family home. In the weeks since, a web of conflicting statements from those closest to the children has complicated efforts to reconstruct the critical moments after they were last seen. What began as a straightforward search for 2 missing children has spiraled into a puzzle of contradictory timelines and differing testimonies. The children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, said she realized the children were gone after waking from a light sleep. She and her partner, stepfather Daniel Martell, to the children, had been relaxing in bed while Lilly and Jack played in the kitchen, she had said. When she noticed the children were no longer making noise, she says she asked Martell if he could hear them. Only then did they realize something was wrong. But Martell told a differing story. In interviews with both CBC and Global News, he said that he was the one who first woke up and noticed the silence, and then he woke Malaya. These slight but important differences of who noticed the silence, who raised the alarm, are just the beginning. Martell initially told the media that after calling out for the children and failing to get a response, he, quote, immediately jumped into his truck to search the nearby roads and culverts. But in subsequent interviews, Martell changed the sequence, saying he first, in fact, ran into the woods to check the children's cabins, a place they often played. Only after searching there did he return to continue looking elsewhere. The shift in the timeline raises questions, and it would raise questions for investigators about exactly where Martell was during those first critical minutes and whether, in fact, valuable time was lost. Until recently, it's actually only been the parents' differing versions that were known. Then another voice emerged, adding a fresh layer of confusion. Martell's mother, Janie Mackenzie, she lives in an RV on the property, and gave an interview to CBC that significantly altered the known narrative. In Martell's most recent interview, Martell said that after failing to find the children at their fort, he began yelling their names, prompting his mother to emerge from her RV. As he headed back toward the house, he told her the children were missing. But Janie Mackenzie remembers it differently. In her interview, she said she came out of her RV and in fact saw Malaya standing in the driveway. According to her, it was Malaya, not Daniel, who told her the children were missing. This contradiction leaves one with at least 3 competing sequences of events. Martell woke Malaya and then searched before telling his mother. Martell says his yelling brought his mother outside and he informed her directly. Mackenzie insists it was Michaela standing outside who first told her the children were missing. In missing children cases, the first few moments after the disappearance are really critical. The smallest inconsistency can indicate confusion for sure, or trauma. It can also indicate concealment. It is actually what investigators look for, are differing testimonies by people who have experienced exactly the same thing. When timelines shift, People have to ask why, says Halifax police investigator retired Marie Charpentier. Is it simply the stress of the moment altering memory, or is there something being deliberately obscured? With no witnesses to an abduction, no signs of forced entry, the timeline of who knew what and when remains one of the few leads. As the RCMP continues its investigation, the community is left with unsettling questions. Who first realized Lilly and Jack were gone? Why do the parents' accounts differ on even the basic details? Did Martel search the woods first or drive away immediately? And most puzzling of all, why does his mother's account contradict his own? More than 2 months later, actually, in fact, we're going on 3 months, no trace of the children has been found. Search teams have scoured the woods, local waterways, and back roads. Yet the story continues to evolve, not through new evidence necessarily, but through a shifting of recollections of the people who were there. For the small rural community of Lansdowne Station, the disappearance has become a haunting riddle. While RCMP insists the case remains active, the most enduring mystery may not be where the children went, but why the stories of that morning don't seem to match.
Like, it was quiet, and we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no.
When I woke up, Malaya was right beside me. She was still asleep. And I said, I don't hear Lilly and Jack. Immediately jumped in the vehicle, surveyed all the areas, many dirt roads, many culverts as I could, and waited for the police to get there. As soon as I seen they were missing, I jumped right in the vehicle, and I did every dirt road and searched every culvert. I ran up in the woods to the kids. They have cabins up in the woods, which only took me like 30 seconds. I came right back down. She was on the phone with the RCMP. I ran up in the woods to the kids. They have cabins up in the woods. It's about, I don't know, 100 feet up in the woods. Ran up there, ran right back down, which only took me like 30 seconds. And I was screaming for Lilly and Jack, you know, all the way up when I was running up to the cabins. And my mother heard me, so she came out and said, you know, what's going on? And I said, you know, Lilly and Jack are missing.
Was standing here. Malaya was standing. Right here, with Meadow on her hip. And I come out, and I said, what's up? She said, Jack and Lilly are missing. I said, how long? She said, about 20 minutes.
This remains at its heart a missing persons case, not a criminal one. The RCMP has named no suspects, identified no persons of interest. There is no evidence of an abduction, no clues pointing to where Lilly and Jack might have gone. No answers. Wherever Lilly and Jack may be today, let's hope they are safe and let's hope they are together.